Boys, welcome back to another video. Knicks Daily here. We haven't spoken since the Game 7 loss against the Indiana Pacers. I'm still disappointed to this very day about it because we didn't get a fair chance. The Knicks were not healthy. OG got hurt. Josh Hart was playing through pain. Jalen Brunson broke his hand. Mitchell Robinson was out. Randall was out. Not to mention Boyan was out. It's just so unfair, but that's life. It's unfair. It doesn't treat you the same that it treats everyone. And I'm looking at the Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks and these teams that are still left, the Celtics, and Porzingis did get hurt technically, but I mean, if the Knicks had just simply been able to keep their guys out there, we'd be playing right now. We would have beaten the Celtics. The Celtics had a Mickey Mouse ride to the finals, beating the Heat without Jimmy, Cavs without Mitchell and Allen, and then of course the Pacers were only there because the Knicks weren't there, right? But what I want to talk about in this video is not that, because you guys already know that. I mean, I'm sure you've heard about it for weeks at this point, but what I want to talk about today is that the New York Knicks should not make any big moves this offseason. I get that the media needs something to talk about, and that is going to be pushing the narrative of trading Julius Randle. Coming into the start of this season, I wanted absolutely nothing to do with Julius Randle. He was terrible in the playoffs. I get he was playing through pain, but he's just been historically the worst playoff performer in NBA history. Against the Atlanta Hawks, terrible. And then in the last playoffs, he was terrible. But with that being said, this past season, we didn't get to see Randle in the playoffs, so I can't really make my case, but I did see a guy average 24 and 9. He was in incredible shape, 5 assists. The Knicks were blowing out contenders. The Nuggets, the Wolves, the Sixers, they beat the Heat. Like, the Knicks were beating contenders with Randle and OG out there. I mean, we had our second best month in franchise history in January. We went like 16-2 or something crazy like that. I mean, it's unbelievable. And now all of a sudden, the Knicks, not only are they going to trade Randle, but they're going to trade Randle and picks to go get Kevin Durant or Mikal Bridges. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, Julius Randle to me is not better than Kevin Durant, but he's a lot younger, and he just fits in what we're trying to do. Because Jalen Brunson, you see right there how he sort of caught and shot that basketball? Brunson didn't get a lot of that in the playoffs. Why? Because teams were not allowing that to happen. They were kind of sort of just trapping Brunson, making him create some crazy shots. But if Randle's out there, Brunson's going to get a lot more open looks, because now you're letting Julius Randle go one-on-one, and it's basically pick your poison. Do you sort of help off of Brunson and let him get a look, or do you go and let Randle go one-on-one? So, like, Brunson and Randle, to me, is a very good duo, and I want to see what they're capable of, but it's also who's around them, right? We saw Isaiah Hartenstein take his game to the next level. Dante DiVincenzo was a big-time pickup. OG Anunoby, his defense completely saved the Knicks. The Knicks were one of the worst defensive teams in the league before they traded for OG. We also saw Josh Hart take his game to the next level. In the regular season, he averaged 9, 8, and 4. Hart nearly had as many boards as he did points. In the playoffs, Josh Hart was even better. He goes out there and he shoots 44% from the field, 37.3 from 3. Gives you 14.5 points, 11.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, a steal, a block. You know, Hart was incredible in the playoffs, not to mention the amount of minutes he was playing. He also had to play defense, and he was going for boards. I mean, and if you do look at the past couple of games, Josh Hart, terrible in Game 7, terrible in Game 6, because he was hurt, right? It's as simple as that. And then, of course, Game 5, Hart had just 2 point. Like, it's just wild to me that the Knicks were even in a Game 7 with the Pacers despite all the injuries and the adversity that they dealt with throughout the entire season. It makes me proud to be a Knicks fan. And I got to keep my head up high and remember that the Knicks had a great season. This was the best season that the Knicks have had in my life. And I get that might sound kind of sad. And, if you're a non-Knicks fan, you're like, but like, no, really, this was the best Knicks team I've ever seen in my 20 plus years on this earth. And I can't wait to see what we do next season. But I just need to see OG and Hartenstein come back. I'm not asking them to take pay cuts, but also I'm kind of asking them to take pay cuts. Like Isaiah Hartenstein, we literally are not going to be able to match, for example, the Thunder. We could probably give Hartenstein 18 to 20 million a year, but we cannot give him 25 million a year. I'm not saying he isn't worth it. I'm just saying that, man, I would love to have him back in a Knick uniform. And then same thing with OG. OG is different. I do think we will match just about any single offer, because we gave up RJ and IQ, arguably our two most valuable young pieces on the roster, to get him. Isaiah Hartenstein, we just simply signed, but they're just equally as important. Hartenstein, his rebounding ability, his passing ability, he just fits into the culture, our identity, and what we're trying to build. So, like, these guys are must re-signs. And then in terms of Alec Burks, He's a free agent. Boyan's a free agent. I would like to have them back, but they'll probably get more money, more opportunity elsewhere. But imagine what would have happened if the Knicks had stayed healthy. I think they would have been the best matchup in the NBA. I don't care if it's the West or the East against the Boston Celtics. Why? Because Jalen Brunson's going to be the best player on the floor every single night. Julius Randle can certainly mimic Jalen Brown or Tatum. I don't know who you guys think's the best Celtic. OG, defense, right? Can shoot, can give us 15 night. Dante DiVincenzo has that three ball. The Celtics made the most threes of the best three-point shooting team. We've got Dante that can shoot. McBride can shoot. Josh Hart, I mean, he's not a shooter. You leave him open, he'll take it, right? He had a big shot against the Sixers, man, in that game 6, which was awesome. But Bojan, like, we can attack the Celtics. The Celtics, again, they weren't tested. They were not tested this playoffs. The Knicks, they would have went up against the Celtics. The Knicks would have beaten of course, the Sixers and the Pacers, and then they would have gone up against the Celtics. But again, it's a hypothetical. The Knicks did not do that, and the Celtics swept the Pacers. But I just struggle to sleep at night thinking about what could have been for the Knicks. And I cannot believe we have to wait like 5 months for the next game. I wish it was tomorrow night, man. I miss every single night watching the Knicks. It's just, my life's not the same without it. But of course, this offseason is going to be big for the Knicks. They've got draft picks. They've got, I think we have 2 picks in the first round. We don't have much financially, which is why we may end up losing OG. We may end up losing Hartenstein. But it's always going to be that next man up. Jericho Sims, hopefully we can pick up his option. Precious Achiuwa, I believe, is under contract. Mitchell Robinson, no clue what his contract is. I'm going to have to do a little more research for you guys and find that out. But all I know is that we're in a great spot. We've got a roster that is certainly developing nicely together. We're not the youngest team in the league. We might not have the most talent in the league, but I think we play with the most heart, the most pride, and we just have established ourselves as the New York Knicks of the 90s, man, the early 2000s, and I'm definitely happy with that, happy with how we played last season, the year before that. We're just getting better and better. And yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to management for signing Randall, for signing Brunson, for trading for OG. Even though he got hurt and couldn't really stay healthy, Dante signing, right? Hartenstein signing, Hart trade, like, moves are great. Drafting Miles McBride in the 2nd round. I mean, man, management's killing it. But I just wish we could have gotten a fair chance. Hopefully we do next season. But it just sucks seeing the Celtics go to the finals. It truly does, because like the Celtics just, yeah, they've got a great team, but they didn't play anyone like the Knicks. And I get the regular season, yeah, sure, they beat us 3-1, but that last game, remember when we had OG? Randall didn't even play in that game. Like, the one time we actually saw them with OG, we beat them by like 30 points. So I just can't stress it enough, man. Next season we'll be ready. Thank you guys for the support you've shown on the channel. It means everything to me. This is Knicks Daily. Dante, knock it down for 3. All right, guys, peace.